GJ Butter Lovers, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the dairy aisle to uncover something a bit controversial. We're talking about butter, a staple in Aussie kitchens, right? We slather it on our toast, bake with it, and melt it over our veggies. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really in your butter? Are all butter brands created equal? The short answer is no. Today, we're going to talk about the 8 butter brands in Australia that you might want to think twice about buying. We'll be looking at things like ingredients, processing methods, and overall value. This isn't about shaming brands, but about empowering you, the consumer, to make informed choices. So, grab a cuppa, maybe a piece of dry toast for now, and let's get into it. Coming in at number 8, we have a common sight in many supermarket fridges, Devondale. Now, Devondale is a huge name in Australian dairy, and their butter is often one of the more affordable options. It's a classic, familiar taste for many, but here's the thing. While it's 100% butter, the feedback often points to a less complex flavor profile compared to some of its competitors. Some users find it a bit one-dimensional, lacking that rich, creamy depth you might be looking for in a premium butter. It gets the job done for everyday use. But if you're chasing a truly decadent, buttery experience for your baking or your fancy sourdough, there might be better options out there. It's not a bad butter, but in a competitive market, it just doesn't quite hit the high notes for us. Next on our list, at number 7, is another supermarket regular, the home brand or store brand butters. I'm talking about Coles Butter and Woolworths Essentials Butter. These are often the cheapest on the shelf, which is a huge draw for budget-conscious shoppers. And let's be clear, they are real butter. They meet the legal requirements. However, the old saying you get what you pay for can sometimes apply here. The flavor is often very mild, and the texture can sometimes be a little waxy. This is likely due to the milk sourcing, which can come from a massive pool of suppliers, leading to less consistency. For a quick spread on toast, they're fine. But if you're making a dish where butter is the star, like a shortbread or a butter sauce, you will notice the difference. The lack of a rich, creamy flavor really becomes apparent. Alright, let's move on to number 6. This one might surprise you. It's Lurpak, but wait, you say Lurpak isn't Australian, and you're right, it's Danish, but it's so popular in Australia that it's a major player in our market. Now, their Spreadable version, which is a blend of butter and canola oil, is what many people grab. And that's our first point of contention. It's not pure butter. The addition of oil changes the texture and, of course, the ingredient list. While it's convenient for spreading straight from the fridge, you're compromising on that pure butter flavor. Their block butter is better, but it often comes with a premium price tag. For the same price, you can often find a locally produced high-quality Australian butter. So, with Lurpak, you're often paying for the brand name and the convenience of a spread, rather than a superior butter product. At number 5, we have another category, rather than a specific brand. Margarine masquerading as butter. Brands like Nutlex have a loyal following, especially in the vegan community or for those with dairy allergies. And that's great, but they are not butter. They're made from vegetable oils and water, with emulsifiers, colors, and flavors added to mimic butter. The issue arises when people buy these products thinking they're a healthier alternative to butter, which is a whole debate in itself. Nutritionally, they are very different products. For baking, they can behave unpredictably compared to real butter due to different melting points and fat structures. If you need a dairy-free option, they're a good choice. But if you're looking for butter, make sure you're not accidentally grabbing a tub of vegetable oil spread. Always check the label. Now, for our number 4 spot, we're looking at Western Star. This is an Aussie icon, isn't it? The packaging is instantly recognizable. They have a huge range, from their original block to various spreadable options. So why is it on this list? Similar to Lurpak, their popular Spreadable range is a blend. It contains butter, but also vegetable oil and water. This makes it softer, but it dilutes the flavor and changes the nutritional profile. It's a matter of purity. When you buy butter, you expect butter. Their original block butter is a solid, reliable choice, but many people reach for the convenience of the tub without realizing it's not 100% butter. We're re-putting it on this list because of the potential for confusion and the fact that their most popular product is UNT, the real deal. Coming in at number 3 is another big player, Mainland. Now Mainland is from New Zealand, but just like Lurpak, it's a staple in Australian supermarkets. Their butter is generally well regarded and has a fairly consistent flavor. So what's the issue? 2 things mainly: price and sourcing. Mainland often sits at a higher price point than many Australian-made butters of similar or even better quality. You're paying a premium. Secondly, while New Zealand dairy has a great reputation, by choosing Mainland, you're not supporting Australian dairy farmers. With so many fantastic local butteries struggling to compete, it's worth considering where your money is going. You can find Australian-made butter that is just as good, if not better, and often for a better price, all while supporting our local industry. Alright, we're getting to the pointy end now. At number 2, we have any butter product labeled light or light. Brands like Dairy Farmer's Light Butter Spread are a classic example. The promise is fewer calories and less fat. But how do they achieve this? They typically do it by increasing the water content and adding thickeners, gums, and other additives to make it feel like butter. The result is a product that is texturally inferior and has a very diluted flavor. It often doesn't melt properly and can ruin baked goods. Real butter's flavor comes from its fat. When you reduce the fat, you drastically reduce the flavor. If you're concerned about calories, our advice is simple. Use less of a better quality, real butter. You'll get a much more satisfying flavor and a better, cleaner product. And now, for our #1 worst Australian butter brand you should never buy. This might be controversial, but we're giving the top spot to any butter blend that isn't transparent about its ingredients. We've touched on this with a few brands already, but it's the category as a whole that's the real problem. Brands that use clever marketing and packaging to look like pure butter but are actually a mix of butter, vegetable oils, and water. They sell convenience, but at the cost of purity and flavor. They trade on the good name of butter while selling you something different. This includes many supermarket brands, Spreadables, and some big-name brands too. Our #1 rule is to always read the ingredient list. If it says anything more than cream and maybe salt, you're not buying pure butter. So, what should you buy instead? Look for butters that proudly state they are made from 100% Australian cream. Brands like Pepe, Saya, Myrtleford, or Blanton are fantastic examples of high-quality, awesome-made butter. They often have a higher fat percentage, which means more flavor. Yes, they might cost a little more, but the difference in taste and quality is night and day. Supporting smaller local producers also helps our Aussie dairy industry thrive. So there you have it, our rundown of the 8 butter brands and categories to be wary of. It's all about being an informed consumer and choosing what's right for you and your family. Did your go-to butter make the list? What's your favorite Aussie butter? Let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite foods. See you in the next one.